Hi everyone, how are you? I'm gonna go ahead and check the sound on my end, wait for some of you guys to come on in. It's about to get interesting. It's about to get deep. I know I say that every episode, but it's about to get real deep. I'll wait for some of you guys to come. Go ahead and check the sound on my end. Cool. I'll wait for you guys to come in. Let me check my sound without this mic. I'm going to just use my computer audio today. Real deep. Okay. Cool, guys. I'll wait for you guys to get the notification. And I will get a few things squared away here while we are waiting on that. It's about to get interesting, y'all. I got a visitor. Yesterday, when I ended the message that I said, God showed me in a dream of who Erika Kirk was. And I know it sounded far out there, but I'm going to show you guys a picture that I took afterwards, confirming God's message to me. Y'all, it's about to get interesting on this planet. This is all that I know. Welcome in, guys. Shout out your city, your country, your state, your vibe, all of that good stuff. So happy to be with you all this evening. Today's a very interesting day. There's a lot of collective energies as well that we just need to talk about. I don't want to make this too long, but I'll just wait for a few more of you guys to kind of come on in here. It's about to get interesting. Welcome in, Sister Sonia. Welcome in, Barbara. Guys, when you come in, please subscribe to the channel and put a like on the video. I'm not sure if people are getting the notifications. A lot of people tell me that they are not getting the notifications. So, it's kind of, it is what it is, but it's, at the same time, it's a little bit, that's really, really sad that that's not going out and it's not happening, and that the demonic algorithm is, trying to block the message, because we've been spot on throughout this entire psychic investigation. No matter what template we look at, no matter how wild and crazy these concepts seem, they have proven themselves to be true time and time again. Guys, if you are coming in, I need to put a warning on this channel, because I get a lot of people who just pop in for 5 minutes and they start to leave some comments when you have no idea the space that you are about to enter. So I think that I need to put a disclaimer on this channel. First and foremost, guys, when you come in here, you need to understand this is not a 3D channel. I do not channel from the 3D. I am in constant communication with Source Energy God, the source in which everything derives from. This is where I get my fuel, my sustenance. The me and Source are one. There isn't any way to separate us. This is where my messages come from. I also am a psychic investigator. I have all of the clairs, meaning I have clear seeing, clear hearing, clear feeling. I can literally taste when things are off, negative energy, entities. I remove entities for a living. I can hear the words. I can hear things. So I have all that going on. So when you guys come in, just know I'm a conscious channeler. What this means is I don't have to go into trance to channel. I can channel from my conscious state of being. I'm not just pulling a rabbit out of the hat. I think people are confused. You're always getting the supernatural. We deal with the supernatural. Me, myself, Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I'm a supernatural quantum healer. I do not deal in the natural. I deal with the supernatural. And we have been doing over 60 videos. There's a whole playlist, The Curious Case of Charlie Kirk. We have been looking at this thing from a supernatural point of view. So this is the disclaimer. This is not to, I don't fall on any side. It's all about collapsing these timelines and expanding to a higher sphere of consciousness. This is where I am, because my job as Mother of the Ages is to actually help humanity close out this age, and we're about to move into another energy for another over 2100 years, and I need to make sure that we have moved there, letting go of what no longer serves us, and now we are at a higher dimensional plane where we are able to evolve through the ages, returning ourselves back to source, collapsing all timelines and returning back into pure source spirit consciousness. So that is the goal. So if you're here for 5 minutes, you will miss the plot. So you probably should just not even try to understand it. You know, you kind of got to be here for a while. Okay. All right. Let's see if people are getting the notification. It's a little bit more people, but I don't feel that people are getting the notification. But nevertheless, I think I'm going to go ahead and start. Now, first and foremost, guys, I'm not going to be here all night. I know I'm a little long-winded. We're going to try to, speed this thing along, right? And I just want to take time to thank the people that, have been here throughout the whole psychic investigation and that have really poured their energy into this thing as well. And we find ourselves at a crossroad, right? Because, I wanted to say Charlie Kirk. See, Charlie Kirk's still popping up. So I wanted to say Erika Kirk and Candace Owens met. And it's very interesting. I did an automatic drawing that day, but I don't think I showed you guys the day of the meeting. I wasn't even aware that, that was that day. But it's very interesting, and I think I will bring that up. So guys, if you do not know, I do something called automatic drawing. It is a tool to be able to pick up supernatural messages. And so I just doodle, I take up all of 30 seconds, and you will be amazed the amount of messages that we have received from this girl. We have seen it all. We have seen the Antichrist. We have seen slavery, right? We have seen maritime law. We have seen the perversion of the cross, right? We have literally seen Charlie Kirk's face pop up, which is very freaky. This is undeniable that this is Charlie Kirk. This is his nose here. He has a very profound nose. That's his mouth here, his chin area. These are the things that pop up. This is supernatural. There isn't any way to make this stuff up. This is what I'm saying. So you kind of, have to be here. But so thank you guys for being here. Now it's about to get serious because we're at a crossroads. Some might even say a turning point. Because on the 15th, I believe it was, Candace Owens met with Erika Kirk. Now I had a slip. And in my mind's eye, I said Charlie Kirk. So is it possible that Candace Owens has seen Charlie Kirk? That's a possibility. I'm not saying that has happened, but it slipped up in my mind. So I have to honor that. And here on this channel, what we said from very early on, Charlie Kirk did not pass away that day of the incident. But I also did see roughly around 3 weeks ago, 11/20 to be exact. This was the first time that I saw him kind of in a death state. I saw some electromagnetic, energy, shock waves being sent to him. I saw some taking out of his brain, so possibly MK Ultra. Who knows what kind of technology they have, but nevertheless, I do see a death face here that popped up for Charlie Kirk. But you gotta mind you, this is 2 months later, and that's the eye, nose, and his mouth turned over. I mean, he looks dead. He does look dead, but this was the day that I felt the electromagnetic shock as well. So I don't know if he was just out of it because of that, but he does appear to be dead in this drawing, right? Or barely clinging on to life. So he's been through a lot, right? So now the crossroads or the turning point is, we got to go back to Candace Owens. And I want to share with you guys some of the earlier, little clips of the earlier videos, because I said that this was going to happen. Everything, literally, I've been, it's not really me, it's really just source. I've just been channeling source consciousness, but we've been spot on. And I said that people would start to turn on Candace Owens. And you can see, the verbiage online, people really, really believe that Candace Owens was fighting for our freedom. And to be honest with you, that has come up. I have woken up in the middle of the night and recorded messages on my recorder where I get a lot of my prophetic messages. Let's take a listen.
I see Candace Owens showing up on my left side, in front of a microphone, like she's about to speak or campaign. But I heard Candace Owens defending the people's right to freedom.
I woke up in the middle of the night. That was November 7th. That I saw her in front of a microphone, like she had been anointed to do this, anointed to defend the people's right to freedom. So this is where the collective energy, all of your energy, has gone into putting a lot of faith into Candace Owens to defend what freedom. What have we been saying that has popped up this entire psychic investigation? We've been talking about freedom or free man. Charlie's real name is Charles, meaning Freeman. Erika Kirk's maiden last name, Franz Vey, I think it is, also means Freeman. It's very interesting that even when we look at the hands, with Erika Kirk kneeling down the casket, kissing and rubbing his hands, and we start to look at his bare hands in comparison to her hands with all the rings on it. It's a wealth transfer as well. This is coming up, right? He has bare hands. He's Freeman, right? That's what his name means. Also, her maiden name means that. But remember, she took his last name. So in a way, she took his freedom, his free man status. So this is what I'm saying. You got to kind of be here for the whole thing because we expand out to large templates. We've been dealing with the race template a lot within the psychic investigation. And I don't really talk about race on this channel because it's not really relevant when it comes to the soul and the spirit and the consciousness. But however, this has been a big thing in the psychic investigation. So I do have to honor that and sometimes talk about these uncomfortable things if it's going to lead to growth and expansion. Very, very early on, we were getting bondage energy coming from Charlie Kirk. There's been extreme bondage energy around him. And his energy field was primed with some sort of spell work and some sort of energy harvesting and energy transferring of the energy. Erika Kirk has played a very large role in priming Charlie's energy field for the siphon, for the transfer, to get him in a energetic, kind of lock. And so I want to just show you guys this and excuse the paper because this is what I had early on. And it does have one of my psychic drawings. So this was Charlie Kirk very early on. This was one of the first drawings I did. This is his head. His head is down. This was the day of the incident or a few days after. He has the X here. The X, as we know during the psychic investigation, is the perversion of the cross. And the X actually takes us to, surpasses the white nationalism, and it skews it to some sort of KKK energy, which when we think about KKK, we start to think about the freedoms that are taken away. Charlie Kirk, make no mistake about it, is not in a position of power or in a position of freedom. He is in a position of mercy, right? There's his back kind of slunched over. He's sitting on his bum. There's another X, another bondage. And look, I even wrote here bondage. He's kind of sitting on his both legs. And it's almost like his hands. Where are his hands? Where are Charlie's hands? Because notice that you don't see his hands here. Energetically, now I'm getting that his hands were tied behind his back, meaning there was nothing that Charlie could do. Charlie was going to end up in this situation. Erika Kirk had primed his field with so much witchcraft, and in fact, we even found that Charlie Kirk was an energetic shield for Trump. And so Erika Kirk being his handler, there was so many things that she was doing. You ever seen that that movie where they click on the tea, the teacup and hypnotize you and all that stuff, that Get Out movie? She was doing all these weird little things, right? Because remember, I said she was trained in mind control combat. She was doing these little weird things with Charlie Kirk, slowly bringing him to the bondage energy. And so when I get that on November 7th, Candace Owens defending the people's right to freedom, and then we get to the earlier drawings, Charlie being in bondage, but Candace Owens was also in bondage, guys. We're going to get back to it, but this is very important because this whole thing has to do with our freedom. This is an esoteric planned assassination to alert you so that they can try to escape karma by putting it on the world stage. So they say that they told you. They are letting you know that they're about to take away our freedoms. And not only that, did you see that? There was an orb of light that just passed by. And every time, see, I think that's Charlie. I know it's Charlie, in fact, because I was standing in my closet, and the very first time I channeled Charlie's energy, I had this yellow shirt on, and I felt a strong pull to put it on. And I feel that it's Charlie Kirk. I felt a very strong pull to put the yellow on. And for me, yellow represents the Christ energy as well. Candace Owens showed up, as I'll show you here. This was the first automatic drawing with Candace Owens. She shows up as, a slave here. This is not just Candace, but it's representing her lineage, right? And what have we been talking about? We've been talking about reparations or restitution for the enslavement of, Black Americans in this country. And the reason why I keep talking about it is because it keeps showing up in the psychic investigation. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. That I figured out the codes. The reason why Source keeps leading us there, because there's stuck energy there. When we go and fix that, it will actually help us get the freedom that not only Candace Owens is fighting for, but see, it's not Candace. We entrusted our energy and into Candace Owens because energetically humanity felt that they are small. They don't have a platform. They don't have a voice. So we put our energy, a lot of people put their energy into entrusting Candace Owens, and she knows this too. And so that came up in that message that I just woke up and spoken about. But we're going to get back to the slavery, but she shows up here as a slave. This is her representing her lineage. And you can even tell, if you were back in the 1700s, our phenotypes before a lot of mixing, we look a lot different now, but our phenotypes would have looked a bit more like this. And if you notice, Candace Owens has a very, defined kind of protruding jaw. It's very kind of pointy, and it shows up here. And this is definitely Candace. She has a flatter nose, shows up here. There's her eye here, and this is her head here, and she has a kind of a longer neck here. But this was, kind of giving that part of her that is in bondage, showing with the X. The X is the perversion of the cross. And remember, they used the perversion of the cross to actually enslave and take over lands all over the world. So I want you to understand, this is what we're looking at. Okay? The PSYOP. This is an esoteric PSYOP. They're trying to alert you to your freedoms being taken away. And this is the turning point, because Erika Kirk met with Candace Owens. Candace Owens has the collective energy. She's next up on the microphone, like Charlie was on the microphone doing what he was doing, and she's now on the microphone defending the freedom. His name meant freedom. She's defending Charlie, therefore still defending freedom. Do you get what I mean? But the problem is the spell work, because Erika Kirk gave up her last name that meant actual free man as well. And she took the free man status, the Kirk, from Charlie. Now he was in the casket with the rubber hands, and the spell work, as she removed Charlie's essence, and now she's wearing it like skin, made over $140 million in the past few months and counting. And now she is in these big governmental, parties and soirees and all of this, where this is where Charlie had earmarked his self for. And she was able to rapidly get there by taking away the free man. So make no mistake about it. This is what this whole thing is about. And remember, even the guy Hunter Kozak, who was the last person to ask Charlie Kirk the question, his last name also means Freeman. This is what we are talking about. And to be honest with you, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, throughout the whole psychic investigation, they've been mirroring each other. He's in bondage here. She's in bondage here as a slave. When we flip her over, Candace Owens has two sides. When we flip her over, because her energy is often inverted, we get here the triangle representing Masonic order. And then we get also a man's face. So she's also working for some man. He appears to be white. This will also represent a company that she's working for, or a singular man. And her energy, this is her as the slave energy, not in a position of power. All of that energy is being funneled up. So now I understand more. It's not just this Candace energy being funneled up. But see, guys, what you have to understand is they will often use us as time capsules. They will often use people that are on the world stage as time capsules. And so now what I understand is that Candace Owens is representing the collective. All of this is collective. There's other channels that will read this surface level, but this is not. I only primarily deal with collective energies. This is why when I keep talking about the reparations, is because it's going to free us. The freedom that we're searching for. And here's the weird part about this whole thing. Even the freedom that Charlie was saying was being taken away. And even the freedoms that the white nationalists feel that there's too many immigrants, or there's too many people getting the DUI rights, or DUI, you know what I mean. There's too many minorities getting rights and all of this stuff where, they feel that, that those things should be gone away. What is showing up here is that when we can free this is representing not just Candace as a slave, but just slavery in general. When we free this, see, the bondage is still here. Where's the collective energy? The collective energy, we all put it into Candace. I don't care what race or nationality. A lot of people said, Candace, yes, we're going to stand behind you because you have the voice and the platform. You're very sharp. And we believe that you can get some freedom for Charlie Kirk. Freedom for Charlie Kirk is freedom for the freedom that we're looking for. The freedom that Charlie wanted to end for other people is actually that same thing that's actually going to save him. Do you guys see what I'm saying? You see how Source is very interesting? How how Source, I'm just always talk to the feminine, essence of it. I really resonate with that. But how Source can use even our biases for good. So until this is free, the slavery, it's not just enough for Charles' name to mean freedom, and Erika Kirk's maiden last name, and Hunter Kozak's last name to mean freedom, and us to actually put our energy into Candace Owens, freeing all of us, and fighting for truth, which is freedom, right? The largest thing that has happened, and we're going to stick to America because this is, primarily, an American issue. The largest thing that has happened that has really stopped our freedoms is the original infliction of slavery. And Source was telling me, and let me give you guys an analogy. I remove entities for a living, and whether that's dense energy, block chakras, whatever it is. So if you want to remove an entity, right? Let's say the entity is in the head. You try to start removing it, and it's really hard. But you didn't look down the entire body and see that the entity has reinforced itself through the heart and through the root chakra. So if you just try to pull it up from the head, it's going to be very hard. It's the same thing. We want Candace Owens to fight for these freedoms. We want to know the truth. We want the freedoms. We can't cherry pick it and say, just give us the freedom, give us the truth, and free us and help free Charlie from this situation, because we don't realize that Charlie's name plugs into a larger mathematical equation. These are the source codes. See, this is how Source will do it. The thing that you have the opposition against, even if it's white against black, in the end, you will need both codes in order to expand. That's the irony of this whole thing. So if I want to remove the entity and it's hard coming up from the head, then I look and I say, oh, I need to expand the heart and I need to expand the root chakra, because once I expand it, this energy center opens up, and now it makes it easier for me to remove the entity out of the crown of the head. It's the same thing here. If we want to fight for the truth and we want to get the freedoms, not just from the Charlie Kirk situation, but even when, that happened to the George Floyd. Do you see the mirroring? George Floyd, Charlie Kirk's birthday is on the same day. Do you see the mirroring? Source is trying to tell us, look, black and white people, you need each other to get free. Because what happened over here is now being mirrored in our, within our white DNA. At first, within our black DNA, it was being expressed. And then we got to see how maybe our white DNA felt about that. And now it's happening to our white DNA. And now our black DNA is getting to see how we feel, because we are checking the records of our soul. And even with your own DNA, you're getting to check your biases at the door, because we can't expand if we don't check this at the door. And so Source will provide the polarity so that you can collapse the timeline. So this is what's happening on a kind of broader scale, on a collective scale. And so now we say, if we want to get the freedom, if we want, the Candace Owens, who literally has the collective energy fighting for freedom, we got to get back to the original timeline, because she's not enslaved in the present day, Candace Owens. No, she's enslaved back here when she was a slave. This is the ships moving across the transatlantic slave trade. This is what all this means, and we spoke about that very early on. So this is where we go to free her. And when we free her, it's freeing the collective. So what it is, we're going back to the original infliction, the major thing that has happened here in America, and we say we need to expand this. If we need to find the truth about Charlie and free Charlie, then we got to go back to when our freedoms were taken. Then we expand that. That's the thing that we got to heal. Because once we open that up and we have this heart to heart, now all of the DNA starts to fuse, starts to heal. The trauma starts to get pulled out, allowing for more love and more source vibrations and codes to flow through, allowing the reparations, or rather restitution, is more so what I've been calling it, because what a lot of people don't understand, because your history has been told to you in reverse, and it's been a lot of it has been painted with a little lie or two, is that us as Black Americans, we were already here. The African slaves came later, and then we all intermix then. So the restitution that we speak of is just simply giving us back the lands that were seized when we were taken into slavery. So we're not asking for people to pay with their tax dollars or anything. We're just asking for what was taken when, our land was, stolen and right from underneath us. So it's just a restitution is what it is. It's restoring that. So I say that to say that this is the larger thing. The psyop is two parts. The psyop is them telling you, I'm about to take away your freedom. And I'm also getting there is a major wealth transfer too. When those rings with Erika Kirk, Charlie has no more freedom. He has no gold on his hands. She has all of it. That's a wealth transfer, major wealth transfer. And they do it by stealing, of course. So this is what we're up against, guys. This whole thing has always been about the freedom, getting us free from bondage. Charlie and Candace have always mirrored each other. Always mirrored each other. And Erika Kirk, in every single psychic investigation, she's always shown up on top. She's always shown up in this raven energy, which is, this witchcraft energy. And I find it very interesting because Source told me who she is. And we need to get to that because there's something major coming. Here's the thing. I got to level with you guys. I got to just level with you. Listen, I got to level with you guys. I do. If we do not clear up this ugly, nasty race thing, which is demonic, if we don't clear this up, we're all going to perish. That's coming through very clearly. I am telling you what it is that I feel and what it is that I know. Source has given us an opportunity to see this. We got to see both sides. We saw George Floyd and we saw Charlie Kirk. Their birthdays are on the same freaking day. We got to see it. We see Charlie in bondage. We see Candace Owens also in bondage, representing the lineage of slavery. She's been fighting for Charlie. So because she's representing the collective, when we get her free, which her free is, we go back to slavery and expand that and allow the healing to happen there. All we're doing here on this earth plane is experiencing polarities to collapse that timeline. We go to the next thing on a collective scale that we're dealing with. We experience both sides of the coin to collapse the timeline. This is what we're supposed to be doing, because next year's the year of the one. If we do not collapse this timeline, I'm going to be honest of what I see coming. And this brings me to Erika Kirk and who she is. Erika Kirk, I'm going to play this for you guys because it's about to get interesting, because this fool then visited me yesterday. This is why I keep saying this is a supernatural channel. It's not that I'm the only person that this is happening to. It's just that I can pay attention to the source codes. I'm not doing nothing that anyone else cannot do. It's just that I'll walk past something and I'll see something. Most people just walk past it and they walk past it. The only difference is I'm the awareness that I have, and I'm looking for the source codes. That's the only difference. Now it's about to get interesting, and I'm trying to see where I want to start with this. So first and foremost, and I may not just play all of this, but I may just share this really quickly. This video I did 2 weeks ago. What did I say? I said Candace Owens' words are coming back to bite her. In this video, I spoke about people would start to turn on her. I even said that Candace Owens is her energetically hiding. Here we go here. And I'll show this when you guys can't see it now. I'll show it to you. I said that a lot of these things are coming back, and it's because people online would start to turn on her. And we have seen it. People in comment sections and people doing whole think pieces on how Candace Owens is now, has been bought and paid by Israel now, and she's been the knee and all of this stuff. I said this 2 weeks ago this would happen because I already saw her being small. It showed up here. You see her hiding here. This is the energy field. This is Candace Owens' energy field. It's a lot of noise, a lot of static energy, so many messages coming in, but can she trust them? She was starting to question. Even when she was delivering a lot of these things with confidence, she herself was questioning to herself, is this actually true? Am I hearing correctly? And I pulled that because I see her here. She's being muddled out through all of the noise. That's one of her eyes, her nose, mouth, and kind of half of her is kind of hiding behind all of the noise. She's being drowned out, but also too, she's almost being pushed in the background because the confidence level is not there. Is this true of truly what I'm hearing? Energetically, she was not believing, even though she was presenting that she was 100% confident. And the reason why she was showing up like this, not because Candace Owens did not want to fight for freedom. That has come through very clearly. It's because of the witchcraft that I constantly see Erika Kirk doing. Because Erika Kirk is a White Walker humanoid. And this is who visited me. And I'm going to show you. I took a picture of it outside of my house. Okay? Because she's been doing witchcraft. The meeting that she had with Candace Owens is because she primed her energy field to have this meeting. She's been working on it. So I'm providing you guys with a backstory on how this is happening. It's not that Candace Owens is just all of a sudden dropping everything. No, Erika Kirk has been in the background doing the spell work for a minute to prime this, allowing those negative thought forms to start to kind of take over Candace Owens, and she doesn't know if she can trust it. Once you doubt your internal voice, the enemy has you. You better know who you are and of whose you are. You better know that. And if people say you're not this, you're not that, it don't matter. You better know who you are. Because when those voices come to tell you something different, those negative thought forms, that is part of the artillery of the enemy, you need to know whose voice is speaking. You need to be able to spot the energetic signature of the enemy. Because this is how it comes. It sneaks up on you. It's the one doubtful. You can't do that. You're not strong enough to do that. That's always the voice of the enemy because you're all powerful. That's what was attacking her, those voices. But that was done by Erika Kirk, priming her mind, right? And it's very interesting because these two mirror each other a lot. Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. And as we see kind of Candace's face in the background, we also see Charlie Kirk's face, kind of one eye again, nose and a mouth. Kind of the same thing with Candace Owens. What's the common denominator? One eye, a nose, and a mouth. The common denominator is that freaking Erika Kirk is attached to both of them. That's the common denominator. So let us not lose sight of who is playing in the background. This has Erika Kirk written all over it. All over it. Now, what I want to do, I'll come back to that. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm going to play you guys something of what I said yesterday. And then I'm going to show you, or better yet, let me just show you. Let me just show you. Remember what I said yesterday of Source told me, I saw this in a prophetic dream. So am I psychic? Yes. But do I receive prophecies too? Yes. And how I equate my prophecies is when I get a lot of prophetic dreams and I get a lot of visions, or I'll just hear, the voice of God, right? So when I'm just like, when I'm just existing and then I'm getting these messages, these are like my prophetic things. When I'm here doing my, doodling and all of that and looking into energy, that's when the psychic gifts kicks in, because I'm able to go a little bit deeper into the message. So prophetically, this is what Source told me who she is. Said, Erika, Kirk is an ice queen. She's a humanoid. And then Source gave an example of this. This is the White Walker from Game of Thrones. This being is completely made of ice. And it has these kind of, undeniably, interesting deep blue eyes. What are we even talking about? The eyes of Erika Kirk. And even to some regards, I think we know who J.D. Vance is too. He got them same eyes. And it's not because their eyes are, blue, which I find blue eyes to be very beautiful, but it's the energy behind the eyes. That's what I'm talking about. Every soul has a unique energy signature, and it's often found through the eyes. The spirit, the soul will not lie. It's a unique code that belongs to you and only you. There are people who may have similar energy signatures, but it will not be 100% exact, okay? Because you are one of a kind. This is who she is, a White Walker. And so, guys, I'm going to start to tell you a few things. I'm going to start to tell you a few things about this. See, I don't think this thing is just mythological. When they put something in a movie, you better pay attention to it, because it's always hidden in plain sight. I want to show you, I'm going to read a little bit about who the White Walkers are, and you're going to find it interesting of how when I talk about our freedom, see, this is what's coming. And the trick is this nasty stain that we have as, as Americans, a nasty stain of this slavery in which the whole United States was built off of. This nasty stain. Here's the lesson from Source. Can you go back to the original infliction and cleanse it? Because even in my sessions when I'm helping people heal, I don't care how ugly it is. I don't care what it is that you did. It will never separate you from God's love. But the enemy can trick you for you to separate yourself. We have to go back to heal that, because it is that energy, when we heal that thing, that infliction of slavery, it frees the collective, not just Black people. No, it frees, this thing they call like white guilt and all of these things. And that's a real thing. I didn't think so, but it's a real thing. And it's two sides. It frees you from that. It frees, Black people from feeling less than and feeling, kind of generationally, just, I guess this is just how I'm supposed to be, And then it also frees the way of like, sometimes it's really hard to, even when your ancestors do something, right? And it's not necessarily you. In your subconscious, it's still playing. It's still affecting you. So this is going to free us all. And that's the test from Source. Are you strong enough? Are you ready to face this? Can you go back to that original infliction and open the wound up? Because the year of the 9 says, it's ready, it's time. To Mariah Carey, it's time. It's time to heal this thing. And all of the energies are supporting us as humanity. And I'm telling you, this is how we free ourselves. Hence why everybody's name leads back to Freeman. But if we don't, I am telling you what is coming. So in the book that I wrote, I channeled with source, The Great Expansion, a Cosmic Bible for the Ages. And there's some links down below. You can pick this up on Amazon, guys. The Great Expansion, Cosmic Bible for the Ages, Book 1, The Ego Divide. It talks about in this book how there is something that is coming upon the earth called the 5-night stampede. And they're already here because they've shown me. I've gotten so many signs. And when I see the numbers 808, this is a sign for them because they are the equivalent. If you think about the 808 drum that has been popularized by hip hop, we can think of it like that because the 808 is kind of a destructive sound that it can kind of mutate you and it can kind of cause you to do things, maybe that you normally wouldn't do. So there is an influence on this earth right now, and it's an energy, but they, when I channeled it, it showed up as 5 beings called the 5-night stampede. They are responsible for the volcanoes. They're responsible for all of the natural disasters, the hurricanes and the earthquakes and the splitting and the cracking of the earth that is still yet to come in Northern California, I see. They are responsible for these things because until you go back to the original inflection, expand that energy. So all of these sore spots through history, there isn't any way to not deal with it because the absence of not dealing with it will lead more to the destruction is kind of, what the book says. So there's a force and that force is here. And if we don't clean ourselves up and open up this template to collapse it, right? Then what we're going to get next will be sorrowful. I'm here to tell you it will not be good. And so this White Walker energy, this is also part of the 5-night stampede. So let me tell you who the White Walkers are, guys. It's getting interesting. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I put my heart, my soul, my passions into this, guys. So here's the thing, guys. Let me show you something. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the picture too, but I need to tell you guys who the White Walkers are. And I hope that you can hear this. Let me see. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see this. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
You made the White Walkers.
We were at war. We were being slaughtered. We needed to defend ourselves.
From whom?
From you. From men.
He saw me! The Night King! He saw me!
He touched you.
I don't know, he was close, but
He touched you. He knows you're here. He'll come for you.
he can't get in.
He can now. His mark is on you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
The time has come
The time for what?
for you to become me.
But am I ready?
No.
What do I keep telling you guys? Did you see how he literally got the mark of the beast? Because the beast touched him, even in a dream. When I keep telling you guys, this is how they operate. Supernatural. It's multidimensional. They do not have to come in the physical. Erika Kirk wasn't in the physical, but yet she was doing all the spell work from behind the scenes as the Ice Queen, as this White Walker energy, which, like I said, it doesn't die. It actually multiplies. When it touches you, you turn into it. Meaning when you literally take the mark. And so that guy that was saying, it's time for you to become me. What if I kept saying, we now have to become the Christ. We got to have that confidence to be able to stand like the Christ. Because if we don't have the Christ and stand in the I am vibration, then when all these beings come up from these portals, we're going to just hide. We're going to get devoured. So he's saying now, because you've been touched, because he saw you, you gotta now become like me. You're not ready, but you're gonna have to do it. It's the same thing, guys. We gotta become like the I am, like the Christ. We may not be ready, but we gotta do it because the White Walkers are here. And it's interesting that the White Walkers were created. That's why, Source keeps saying that she's a humanoid. Humanoids are created. They look human, but they are not. Remember the other day I said, somebody got a battery in her back. It was the first day I said, this woman is a clone. I called her a clone. Someone has a battery in her back. And it wasn't the next day or the day after that Source, gave me this prophetic dream that she is a White Walker, that she is in fact a humanoid. She's not human. And I know that you think that that's far-fetched, but remember, we thought that AI would be far-fetched. We didn't think that AI could take everyone's job and be able to compute numbers better than a natural man. We didn't think that the Neuralink could come. We didn't think we could have the robot armies. We didn't think these things. We thought they were far-fetched. Now they are here, is what I'm saying. And so this is the energy that's coming. And so I don't think you guys understand when I say I see beings coming through portals because it's harvest time. See, we are supposed to be, our harvest is the latter rains. The latter rains is everything that has been withheld from you because of all this collective witchcraft and spell work that has been withheld from you. That gets released like this spiritual manna from the heavens. And then all of your blessings come pouring in all at once because that's how Source works. It's an all at once thing, right? But they have hijacked our latter rains. You can't see it because now they have literally come down through these portals to be at war with us, because once we get our latter rains, then we're going to get what? The free man status, which this whole psyop is about. Keeping you enslaved. They don't want us to go back. They didn't want me to say this. They don't want us to go back and fix the original infliction of slavery. No, because that would free us all. Man, woman, child, black, white, Jew, Indian, African, Hispanic, it don't matter. We'd all be free. Because the codes says so, the source codes. So here's the thing. We got to understand this. This is not sci-fi. This is not sci-fi. Okay, here it is. Now let me show you this one.
And I know you.
You said we'd meet again.
And here we are. At the end of the world.
You said I'd shut many eyes forever. You were right about that too.
Brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Not today, Satan. This is who Erika Kirk is. Ice Queen.
I know you.
Did you see that?
And I know you.
Did you see how when she killed him, it killed all the rest because they're humanoid bots. They're programmed. This is what I'm saying. I want you guys to get this. This is source. This is source consciousness. giving us a key code to freedom. This is what Charlie Kirk stood for and fought for. In some way, I even feel that he's here supporting this message. The White Walkers appear to be many, and mind you, there were also giants. The White Walkers were created by the forest people. They said they created it to defend themselves against the natural man. What have we been talking about? Going from Admiralty law, which is the ability to move you across water as in a vessel, as cargo, back to being a natural man walking on the land. A natural man walking on the land has always been feared. They even said, the forest people, the reason why we created the White Walkers was for our own defense. They created it almost like an army because they were afraid of the natural man. So guys, there's nothing we need to do to change ourselves. We naturally are it once our status has been reformed and returned back to us in wholeness. And in order to do that, we have to see where we're being held in bondage. We have to fight for the freedom. We have to continue, even if Candace Owens can't really continue on because of her safety or her children or whatever it is. But remember, we gave her. A lot of us poured our energy in there because we wanted the freedom. The truth is the freedom. We can still carry this on because look, there's more of us. The White Walkers appear to be many, and they appear to be giants. But when you kill one, all of them die because they're not a natural man. They are made of ice. Ice comes from water. We have been under maritime law. And this is why they've been able to human traffic and slavery. Slavery is a form of human trafficking. If we stop the Admiralty maritime law and restore us by being a natural man on the land, we can't restore being a natural man on the land, because what you guys need to understand is that in order to restore that and take us from Admiralty law back to being a natural man on the land, therefore ergoing our straw man. The straw man is the personification or the all caps version of you. So when they send you a bill in the mail, this is your straw man. This is the representation of your corporation. If your name is in all caps, that because the government has literally created like a trust and an insurance policy, and they have you bonded by your birth certificate. Your citizenship is the ability to enslave you and to encapsulate you. And the whole thing of what I'm saying is that when we get rid of that and restore the natural man living on the land, we won't be able to do it having this slavery thing hovering over us, because we would have half of us as a natural man on the land and the other half still dealing under Admiralty law. This is why I keep talking about the slavery thing, because it's part of the very bondage that Charlie Kirk was fighting for. His name, he came in here with the name to fight for this. He thought he was just fighting for his people. But now as it swings back around, it's a collective. He's fighting for the code of freedom. And whether he knew it or not, I'm here to pick up the mantle and to express it from this point of view. We see it in Candace Owens' field. In a way, it's like we free Candace, but it's not Candace. Candace is representing the collective, representing this infliction of slavery. And so this is what I'm saying. And that's why I keep bringing up the maritime law, because it is affecting our freedoms as well. And when I said, it's funny because when I was talking to a friend of mine over the phone, and if you guys remember when I was like past life Lisa, I had awareness, I had a past life where I was a Caucasian woman from the Czech Republic. Something happened there. She had to flee her land. She got on one of the slave ships. She had awareness. There was a duality thing happening. Free whites on the top of it. There was a cross in the back, and in the bottom of the ship there were, obviously slaves moved as human cargo, hence maritime law. And at first I had awareness that she was a free woman, but I later came to find out that she was also enslaved, maybe not in the same way as the black, men and women, but, she also still felt victim to the maritime law. And so what you are okay and complacent for one thing, eventually by the law of duality, it says that you have to experience that thing as well. So what I'm trying to do is to have us to do a cheat code where we just go back to the infliction to collapse it, rather than us having a reverse thing happen where now we got to spend hundreds of years, with other people enslaved. We don't have to do that. We can be in control, and we can, collapse these timelines by just simply healing it. Right? And I'm so sorry that I have to be long-winded, but the whole thing is that this is the message. This is just how Source gives the message to me. And I have to, I'm all about the source codes, and I'm all about my father's work and my mother's work. And, I'm just a messenger here for the light, and I really hope that we do get this today. So that was very, very important for me to say. And so I say that to say that this past life version of myself is Lisa crossing over on this slave ship. It was very interesting because I literally was driving one day and I came across a cross on the corner of a road, and the road was called Aboit, right? And because my spidey senses go off, and I said, this is a message. So I looked up Aboit. Aboit traces back to a French word, and it actually means slaughterhouse. What have I been saying, guys? They've been leading us to the slaughterhouse. And then when we think about the White Walkers, well, that's what the White Walkers are coming to do, to feast, right? Because even though they look like many, they're all being controlled in a central control system, and probably by CERN. It's kind of that thing, but this is ancient, guys. I think it's coming from the other side of the ice wall. And I think that's another reason why they don't want us going digging, because also too, I don't think they even understand how to deal with these entities. I gave you a cheat code on how we defeat the White Walkers. Now, mind you, don't think about the Game of Thrones, because I'm just using that as an analogy to give you guys of what is the energy that is actually coming. Erika, Kirk is part of that. How we defeat it is we collapse the timelines by going back to the original infliction. The psyop is about the freemen. This is why the hands were a very big thing. This is why Charlie Kirk had the book that she said he wrote, but I know he didn't. It was literally written by Israel, girl, by the Israel government. That's why he had his hands talking about stop in the name of God, because he's showing you it's about freedom. That's what this is about. And so this is how we beat them. We go back to the original infliction. We learn the lesson, we expand it, we rectify it, whether that's reparations or restitution. Then we collapse it. When we collapse it, baby, we're breaking their tools. They can't hide. That's what I love about Source. Source literally shows us here on this channel how to break the enemy's tools. We are literally outsmarting their system of control and power. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's how we win. That's our sword. We win by just simply healing the collective energy. That's it. And then the other thing that we heal, which is another issue, is religion. It talks about this in the Cosmic Bible. One of my jobs as Mother of the Ages is to collapse the timeline and the false religion that has been hiding God from us. Because we're going into the inner. Everything's about to be inner. So we need to find the inner wisdom and the inner God within. Right? And so there was a point in time, I believe, that the outer God was very much needed. But I think that we've risen into consciousness because we're going into our I am. And the I am is internal. And so now we will spend the next 2,000 years or so exploring the God within. And so the religion that is outwardly worship, exerting energy out, that won't power you in the higher spheres, because you're going to need more energy to power yourself, because we're going higher. So you conserving that energy, cycling that energy back within self. This is how you literally, go up in consciousness. And so we will need to save that energy. And so we're no longer exerting that out, the external energy out. We're going to cycle that within ourselves to power ourselves into the higher spheres of consciousness, right? And that's why that is important. And when we collapse that, we will see that they were also hiding in religion. And right now, guys, sorry it's long-winded. We're going to get to Erika Kirk visiting me. I took a picture. We're going to see it. The White Walker showed up. I was right outside my house. But I want to tell you guys, I did a psychic investigation video 5 days ago or so with the Vatican, Trump and the Pope. Pope Francis, I saw him. That's the energy that is in the avatar of Trump right now. And today's his birthday. And I told you that the day of his birthday and the days after that, we would be feeling some massive energy. So just hold on to your horses, because this is what's happening. And I felt the collective energy. And he has us on an altar of distress. So you may be going through a lot of distress energy, maybe wanting to cry, maybe just going through stressful things, because it's a ritual to siphon. And this lines up with the Erika Kirk and, Candace Owens meeting as well. Because now everyone wants to know, what happens now? So now more people are tuned in. Well, what happens now? And in a way, and Erika Kirk is so cunning, and not in a good way, where she was lining this up right along with the Pope's ritualistic birthday. And, in a way, Candace Owens didn't know this, but she brought all of our energy to the altar of distress. That's coming through from source now. So she brought all of our energy to the altar. So just clear yourself over these next few days, because because that's what they want. It's all energy harvesting. The energy harvesting is the maritime law, is the trafficking, is the slavery. It's all the same. And then the slavery, we got a branch off from that. It's discrimination and prejudice and racism and all of that. It's all from the same pot of energy, is what I want to get everyone to understand. Because it's a snowball effect, right? And so I see that. Everyone who poured their energy and their hope into Candace Owens, Candace Owens was a little bit deceived too, because, the little witchy stuff that they were all doing in the background had brought the collective energy to his altar. And it's bigger than Erika Kirk. It's the Pope, and it's bigger than the Pope. When we zone out, it's the hidden hand. That's what I'm talking about. This is what it all goes back to the hidden hand. So we have the hands of freedom that we're fighting for, to be natural men without the straw man, without our letters in all caps, being a corporation, bonded by our birth certificate, and without maritime law, being cargo and being human trafficked and being energy harvested and being in slavery and in bondage and all of these things. No, we just want to be the natural man of the land. But as it tells in the White Walkers, that is a very dangerous position, because you were birth of soul and spirit. So it's very dangerous when the forest people said that they created the White Walkers because for protection away from the first men. So now it's like, who was the first man that you had to create something so evil? But it's because I keep telling you guys that you're human technology, spiritual technology, birth of spirit and soul. Do you know your soul is as big as like multiple football fields? Yet you take up a very small space within your soul when you have all this room to stretch out. That's why I always talk about becoming the giant of your soul. And so this is how powerful you are, that they had to create these hybrids. Because they're afraid of you being free. Because once you become free, not freedom for just one group of people, but because we deal with collective, because we all come from a single source, not just source, but a single ancestor. So we all get free, and it kills the White Walkers. They literally all start to dissolve and we can melt them. But our collective energy has been put on the altar of distress, just to let you know. And it's very interesting that they say around the 18th or 19th of this month, there'll be a massive energy surge coming in. And so the ritual, I told you guys they would do the ritual around this time. So just know that. Now, very interesting stuff here. So now what I want to do, I'm just getting rid of some windows here. I'm going to show you the picture, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about these White Walkers, but I think I did a good job. But let me tell you what showed up. The day after, the day I got this message, that was in the middle of the night, and in the afternoon, I think I did the video. And then a few hours later, I went outside to see a White Walker in this freaking snow right outside of my driveway. I kid you not. I kid you not. Guys, like the video and subscribe, please. Listen, guys. Look at Linda. Look at here. Look at here. Now, I'm going to try to point this out to you the best way I can. You guys seen the picture of the White Walker? I want you guys to look right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but there's two eyes here. And this is a nose. This is a nose. You can see it here. And this empty space is a mouth. This is snow. But we just literally got done talking about the White Walkers. This is a White Walker. This was the confirmation of the message of the humanoid species that Erika Kirk belongs to. But it's interesting because they're made of ice. What do we have right now rounding up people? Ice. We're putting all the codes together. Nothing is done by mistake. This is a White Walker. That's on one eye. That's another eye. This is the nose here. This is the mouth. Do you see that? Okay, I'm going to wait to see. Yes, you can see it. Now, I found a spirit next to it. So I'm going to show it back again. We're going to look slightly to the left. This is where I found Erika Kirk's energy hiding. This ain't the first time. Erika Kirk was remote viewing me from some tower on the East Coast, some Masonic lodge, which I've traced it back to the East Coast. I think it was Vermont. Something with a V, Vermont or Virginia, but I get a strong Vermont, a Masonic lodge. I caught her in the middle of the night, remote viewing. And it ain't just me she's doing it to. She's doing it to anyone who is literally cracking the codes. That's why I kept saying, in a way, like Candace Owens was always in a weaker position because Candace Owens is not doing witchcraft, but Erika Kirk and her camp is. So you saw that. Now, I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to show you where I found the energy of Erika Kirk. And if you are in tune with your spirit, you're going to see a face in the snow, but you're going to look closer and see an overlay, and it's going to feel like a woman's energy. Yes. Okay, so to the left. Sorry, guys. I'm getting hyped. Buddy Roo, 963. To the left. Yes. So this I'm about to show y'all. Sorry, I was getting hyped. This right outside my house, right after the video. I probably went out like maybe an hour and a half after. And someone got in my message like, this woman is lying. This ain't from God. Like, I'm telling you, this is supernatural. If you're looking for the 3D, please don't come on the channel because you're not going to get this. But Source never leaves us without a confirmation. Any messages I brought to you guys, I get confirmations of these messages. Because I know they're far out there, but because we are seeing in the supernatural, not in the natural. Okay, I'm going to bring it back up. Now, Here's the original face. 2 eyes here, here, the nose and the mouth. But look to the left. You're going to find, and this is where I found Erika Kirk's energy. Now, mind you, this face here, this is upside down. That's an eye here, an eye over there, the mouth. And this face is upside down in the snow. We might already be defeating these suckers because they looking discombobulated, you know. But look below. Look at this energy here. This is Erika Kirk, girl. I see that energy she hiding. This is an eye, and this is one of her eyes here. See, I see her inside of this eye right here. Right there, I saw her energy signature. And then this is her little nose here, and here's her mouth. This is Erika Kirk. Do you see that? That's a woman's spirit hiding in the freaking ice. Erika, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That is her. Do you guys see it? Look at that. This here, I'm telling you, this is where I spotted her energy signature. Because, like I said, every soul has a unique energy signature. Energy will never lie. Never. And that's why I love energy so much. It won't lie. That is her. Yes, indeed. Looks like a lizard. Yes. That's it. I'm telling you. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is her. Snake kind of, yeah. It looks like snake, reptilian, but it looks like almost like a pretty humanoid. I want you guys to understand there's an overlay. So there is like the snake energy, reptilian, humanoid, but then there's an overlay. I found her energy on top of it. It's an overlay. It's almost glossy. You can slightly see it. My eye is attuned to see it. But I'm going to bring it back up. It is an overlay. It's creepy. She parked outside of my house. I'm like, baby, do you know I like kicked this thing down? I went over with my shoe and I started kicking it. Like, I just started kicking it and kicking it. I was like, not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. This is what I keep talking about, guys. Because I represent the collective, a lot of these things end up happening to me, but I'm ordained to do this. You know, I have spiritual protection, but most people would have just walked past that. They wouldn't have looked at at the snow that was shoveled at the end of the driveway. But somehow this is what I keep talking about. It's like, I just know. I just know, like when I just knew to look at it. And I was like, that's a message. It's just an energy that you get that most people would have just been like, oh, that's weird. Look, it looks like a little face. And they just would have just skimmed past it. They would just went on with their day. But so this is the difference. I literally stop to dissect these things, right? So that was her, you know, and that's her. That's what it is. There's her eyes kind of going up like this. And then this eye is kind of like round, and that's where I read her energy. And it was even creepier in person, guys. Yeah, and that's a little mouth there. And you can see it. It looks like a woman, but like a humanoid. This is overlay. Look at the eye here, guys. It's creepy. Oh my God. Pause this. This eye is a live energy in there. Ew. Ew. This eye is a live energy. You guys can still feel it. It's live. It's a live wire. And now we know why ice is icing, girl. Because it's all part of the ritual of the ice walkers. Or I call them ice walkers, but the white walkers, but we might as well say ice walkers. Yeah. This is creepy. And this one head is down like it's, ew. This is just gross. This is gross. I like kicked him. I kicked him all the way and her. And this one. I like kicked it all. This one looks like it has lips. Look at this one. Oh my God, did you see the nose over here on the right? Look at this nose, guys. These are nostrils. And there's a nostril over here. Whoa. And then this looks like a lips kind of facing this way. I think we about to mess these people up. I think it's foreshadowing that we about to sharpen our sword. And we're about to go to war. This is a supernatural. This is what I keep talking about. Just because you're not aware or attuned to spiritual energies doesn't mean that it's not happening. So when people get in the comments and this isn't real and it's not real to you because you're not attuned to it. But we're all affected by it, whether you see it or not. This is the message I got. It's an entity. When I saw Candace Owens at a mic defending the people's right to freedom is what I heard. And then I had another message that same night and it was about the hands. And it was like, it's an entity. So the hands also too represent the entity, the one behind all of this stuff, which is this is the one behind, because this White Walker energy. So I'm going to give you a backstory that I brought this up online. So it says the White Walkers, and maybe I'll just show this to you guys. So it's like the White Walkers is an ancient race, formerly human ice. Do you know how they said that God made us from dirt? Well, whoever made these forest people in the Game of Thrones, well, they used ice. So already right there we have a conflict. We have dirt, soil, and then we have ice. So it's almost like a polarity, right? So I'm almost getting the vibe, guys, that when we defeat these White Walker energies, these humanoids, right? Which you know what I'm getting? I just caught this. I hope they didn't turn Candace Owens into one of these because she met with them. I hope they didn't turn Candace Owens into a White Walker. That just came. Let's put that aside. But that just kind of came, and I'm getting a pain in my stomach because I get telepathic impressions in my body about messages. I'm telling you, I feel that deeply. I'm sorry, I'm also a deep empath as well. Sorry, guys. I'm telling you, I hope they haven't changed her into a White Walker, guys. I really hope they have not. So here's the thing. So we got the polarity. We got dirt, right? We got soil, right? And we got ice. Ice kind of comes from the sky. And then we got the dirt or the soil that comes from the earth, right? And so formerly human ice creatures who came from far north Westeros. After remained hidden for thousands of years, they returned and were cited by several sworn brothers of the Night's Watch and countless wildlings. However, most who live south of the wall. What's a wall sound like? Sounds like south of Antarctica. Where did I tell you guys that in Buenos Aires, Argentina, that's where the Pope is actually born. Where we just give all that money to? Argentina during the lockdown. The government shut down, but yet Argentina can get 20 to 40 billion dollars, and Israel can get money too, but the American citizens can't. Now we see what our American government has really already been seized by foreign governments is what we have. So it's interesting that it talks about they were spotted south of the wall. I think they're talking about the ice wall, Antarctica, right? Believed them to be nothing more than creatures of legend. White Walkers were thousands of years old, coming from the first preceding age of heroes, right? Born of powerful and untested magic. So whoever created these things that Erika Kirk is a part of, it's formed from magic. Hence why I keep seeing witchcraft, right? We're created to protect the children of the forest. Now, I don't know much about the children of the forest, but the children of the forest appear, even though when we think about forests, we think about nature and possibly indigenous, but they appear to be different from the first men, because the children of the forest were created, the White Walkers, to protect them from the first men, who had waged war on them ever since they had arrived from Essos. However, the White Walkers eventually broke free of the children's control and became the most feared creatures in Westeros, posing threat to all life. This is a parody, like this is a parallel. When we're talking about Erika Kirk, this is who we're talking about. She's one, but she comes with an army. So I don't want you to look at her as a singular. Nothing I do on this channel is singular. It's all about the collective energy. Erika Kirk is representing a collective of this kind of Ice Queen, White Walker energy, humanoids that literally are created by magic. And they were created to protect or war against the first men, the natural born men. Okay? So 8,000 years before Robert's Rebellion, the longest winter in history. What do they keep talking about? This is going to be a bad winter. I'm just saying, y'all, all this is lining up. The longest winter in history fell on the entire world. They keep mentioning threat to all of life on the entire world, and lasted a whole generation. What do we keep talking about going into the 7 years of tribulation? But this is talking about lasted a whole generation. In the darkness and code of the long night, not meaning one night, but a generation, the White Walkers descended upon Westeros from far north, killing all in their path and reanimating the dead as weights to serve as mindless soldiers in their undead army. We're literally getting everyone that they're killing. They are awakening them and they're joining their army. So we can even start to think about Charlie Kirk. We can even start thinking about, remember I keep saying these the same people? I think we've always been at war with the White Walkers and we didn't know it. The same people of yesteryear, they just keep receding themselves back into history. So they will pull their own card. They will literally create all these psyops and assassinations. And they will just be, they will awaken. They will awaken the dead and they will join back into the army. The people of Westeros soon realized that they had to rally together or the White Walkers would kill them all. In a conflict known as the Battle of the Dawn, the living won a decisive victory and pushed the White Walkers far north to the land of always winter. With help from giants and the children of the forest, the wall was raised to bar their return. That's why I keep talking about we gotta come together. We got to heal these templates and the infliction because we need all hands free to fight our enemy. We can't have half people free and the other half free. This massive infliction that we call slavery, we got to go back and heal that. Open that sucker up, heal whatever, restitution for whatever we need, because it's about having a freeman status and a free energy field, because this is what's coming. These White Walker humanoids. And we can even look at AI. Who's to say that they're not creating an army of humanoids powered by one AI mind? And if the very fact that I could think it means that it's already out in creation. Because you can't think a thought that doesn't exist in creation. Try to do it. You can't do it. So this is who the White Walkers are. It says, although the White Walkers had faded into legend over the centuries, disturbing reports began to reach the Night's Watch just before the outbreak of the War of the Five Kings. What do I keep talking about? The 5 Night Stampede that is coming to war. separating the wheat from the chaff, the people that refuse to grow, refuse to change, refuse to heal the templates, you get attacked anyway. That's the gag. If you don't heal this very disgusting thing and template that's keeping us separated, the gag is that the 5-night stampede is coming anyway for you. So you might as well stand up, become the I am vibration, and take care of it yourself, because at the end, the 5-night stampede comes anyway to clear you off the earth. So, I'm just saying. The return of the White Walkers was confirmed during the great ranging undertake of Lord Commander Jero Marmont, and by the unprecedented attack by the Wade army on the wildling settlement of Harmon. Despite repeated pleas for support from the Night's Watch, the rest of the 7 kingdoms, interesting, 7 kingdoms, 7 continents maybe, turned a blind eye to return to the White Walkers as they remained embroiled in their own civil wars. What's happening? All civil wars, and everyone's still fighting for freedom. That's what I'm saying. If we just free ourselves, we have more energy to defeat the larger enemy, which is the negative thought forms, which is the Satan vibration. We're going interstellar, guys. We're going collective now. We can't get wrapped up in the 7 separate continents. We got a bigger threat. And they're going to come and say, oh, we got a bigger threat from the aliens. No, we got the White Walkers, which they are part of. Our threat, our fight is to free ourselves from all of the unjust. And that's the gag. Can you come together with someone who's opposite from you? Because it's the opposite polarities that what? Collapse the timelines so that you can expand. And so that's just what this is. So the White Walkers, believing that the White Walkers were purely mythological, much like giants and the children of the forest, who have also faded into legend. So the ultimate goal of the legendary White Walkers was the end of every living thing in existence. So when Source says that she's like a White Walker, what do they want to do? They want to end every living thing in existence by taking away your freedom, which they plan to achieve by killing the 3-eyed raven. What have I been talking about? Have I not been saying that this woman has raven energy? Erika Kirk, I've been saying this for months. She shows up like a raven. When you think about a raven has a bird's eye view. A raven is always watching. A raven can deliver messages. Is that not like supernatural for a raven to really be delivering messages to humans? But nevertheless, that's what used to happen, right? That's at least what they say. And and it's interesting because they say 3-eyed raven. What are they talking about? The third eye atlas. When I told you guys that I see her as part of that, almost like, this grand wizard that Source keeps talking about. It's an energy that is controlling the 3-eye atlas, not on the ship. It's controlling it from a remote location. And this 3-eye atlas could also be part of what animates the White Walker energy here, or army. I'm just saying, because that has come up. So, however, the plans that are stuck, okay, that's it. Resulting in the permanent extinction of the White Walkers and the end of the Great War. Oh, Lord. I said I wasn't going to be on here long. And it's 7:37 right now. Airplane. I don't know why that's important. You see how I just caught that into somebody that wouldn't be anything, but to me, I know that that's a code. There's something with an airplane. A 7:37. So we just got done talking about the White Walkers, and then I saw an airplane. So I don't know what that means, but those two things are connected. You see how I'm just catching the source codes? We all have access to it. It's just that I'm like aware that that means something. When we think about a three-eyed raven, remember? We almost think about an airplane, something that flies in the sky. And I just got done talking about three-eyed Atlas. That's the message. Yep. That was a confirmation. Three-eyed Atlas is involved in this. This is not mythological. See, the thing about it is, Source has to have codes here too. Do you think that all the evil is going to be able to be done? And Source is not going to leave you with codes to counteract the foolishness? No, you're always going to have the codes. But Source can't force you into awakening. You have to belong there. And we were able to, they put this in the movies. And in some regards, Source allows it to happen because it's for you to catch on. These are key codes and what you need to do to work through and get out of certain situations. So this is what we're living in. We're living in a sea of source codes and a sea of psyops, and how they even got all of their Masonic, little chess games that they play with humanity. They got it from the source codes. They don't have source codes because they're not from source. So they mimic it. They put their stuff in literally every position of power. Yes, even your Bibles have been tainted by their dark, weird game. Because if the devil was going to be anywhere, it would be in the very thing that the same people, the White Walkers, gave you to save yourself. The evil one is in everything. Word is bond. You have to know that. This is why the discernment has to be on point in this season. The discernment has to be absolutely on point. Okay, I think I've said it. I'm so sorry, guys. If you still hold it on, it's been long. It's been long. A long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Look, I'm watching myself back. My face is all in the camera. I am so sorry if I am in your face in this. I am sorry. I did not mean to be so rah-rah. I am so sorry, guys. I just want humanity to grow, y'all. It's almost the end of the year. What else am I supposed to do? So, oh my goodness. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. But this is good though, because already we can start collapsing these timelines. And when I talk about, all we do is we go to the infliction, and you do that within yourself. You sit within yourself and you can see how you feel about the captivity that, in a lot of regards, we built not just America off of it, but humanity has been built off of the enslavement of other people, That's what it is. All over the world. So now we open it up even larger and we just sit with that. But you might more so resonate with what happened here in America. And if you've come from another, land, you might resonate with what happened there. But you sit with that and you sit within the breath and you cycle that and you start to release any of the denseness, and you release any part that any of your codes or your DNA took part in it, knowingly or unknowingly. Because this is about the healing and the restoration of nations. And when we heal on a DNA level, we literally defeat the White Walkers, is what Source is saying. Because how do you think they created these humanoid? They took it from our DNA. And they've been doing this throughout history. They've been literally just tinkering around with our codes or with our DNA. And I think that they've been able to take some of our DNA and some of our unhealed DNA. Because the White Walkers were literally just evil, and they were just out to kill. They kind of went rogue, right? So what Source is saying, some of our traumatic DNA is what has been taken to create these humanoids. And so in the end, you end up dying by the own sword that you put out for other people. Do you see how it snowballs? And we can see this because the karmic mirror is here so we can reflect and mirror the infliction and say, oh boy, I better heal that. And so in the end, you live by it, you die by it, right? And unfortunately, a lot of our ancestors passed down these broken codes to us, but it's not to blame our ancestors. It's to, you're here and you're alive right now because we are the ones that literally are standing in the gap for our ancestors. Because we were always supposed to heal this, because you are strong enough to do that. That's why you're alive right now. There aren't any small roles. If you're alive right now, you have a massive role to play because it's all about the collective energy. It's all about healing from the past, age, over 2,000 years or even longer than that. It's all about healing the eons as well. And the eons are actual energies, or some might even say entities within themselves, or even gods. So you have a massive role to play. There's nothing small about you. And I just want to leave you guys with that. And I love you guys so very much. And I'm sorry, there's, I see you guys in the comments. I do appreciate all of your comments and everything like that. And please share this video. And please subscribe to the channel and subscribe to @Karmic Justice TV, which is my other channel. I'm just trying to get the 500 subscribers so I can start going live on that channel, because it makes it easier just to go live rather than to do a whole video and then render it and then upload it and all of that. And you guys will see me a lot more over there once I get the 500. I think it's 500 or 1,000 subscribers. So I can go live on there and really dig more into this celebrity stuff over there, right? And I think that's all that I want to say. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank everyone for having an open mind. I want to thank everyone for supporting me throughout these years and through this psychic investigation, which is to be crazy. It's gotten crazy, but nevertheless, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. And I grow every time, Source gives me the codes, and I just keep showing up. Like, what does tomorrow bring, And I want to just pray right now. I want to just have everyone, let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and protect our energy here away from any disagreeable beings. We're going to cloak our prayers, allow them to be private, and sanctify them, and may they enter the heart space of Candace Owens secretly, without any interference. So right now, in the name of Yeshua Jesus, we just ask that you be with Candace Owens. We ask that you protect her heart, protect her mind, clear her mind from the pollution, put her back on the mantle. Do not allow her to lose faith or to lose hope. And I can feel that energetically she's fallen weak. I want us now to power her back up with the same vigor and the same energy that she once had, because I see that she is of chosen stock to bring the collective to a platform of freedom, which will lead us into a holy revival and vibration. And one act can go a long way. And so we just ask that you fill her up, you protect her, you guide her, you love her through it, and that you center her with the right people around her, because there are snakes in her camp. And there are snakes within her mind as well that is colluding your voice and twisting your voice. And we ask all of this be cleared right now. Any of our collective energy that has been brought to the altar of distress, we ask that you remove that right now. Pull it back, cleanse it, purify it, baptize it, sanctify it. Andiretta karamingara shumbata. Hingaramumande tikaramande hingara shumbandire tingara mudani etta handire tingara munda amburutu shundire kangara shingara leeta hingara lerambondire kingara shandireta. We ask that you allow Candace Owens to see the truth about these religious houses that she is connected into, especially the Catholic ones. I do see like a Roman numeral popping up. It's just another psyop in the waiting. She has to break free from organizations to be able to hear from you, the sovereign God, the sovereign I am. It will not be found in houses of stones. It is this temple that we find all. Kandire shimbuna kara hingara shumbane kara ambashata kara ningara shata. Clearing this humanoid White Walker army energy that is coming for the collective. And I see it's coming for the unhealed version of us. Touch the heart space of every man, every woman, every child, every infliction, every inner child, every unhealed wound within man and woman, young and old. Heal that right now. Bandire kingara shinta. Hinkara shata karamingo. Umburutu shanire tingara mombarata. Because it's like that is what they can smell. They can smell our trauma, our prejudice, and even how we feel about ourselves. They can smell that. It's like we're giving them a scent to be able to attack. Cleanse us, purify us, beautify us with fresh flowers, fresh water, cleansing waters, cleansing vibrations. Melt any ice energy, both physical and spiritual, turning it back into the purification of the water. Freeing our spirit, consciousness, and essence, bringing us and restoring our status as natural men on the land. Allow the land to be our sustenance once more. We will no longer cling to the hospitals. This is also part of the dark altars of distress. If we just return back to the land and restore thy soil, thy free man status, this will replenish us, both physically and spiritually. Dismantling their altars of distress and their tools of division. We will not go into the new vibration being chained and being enslaved. Free us right now, cleansing out mind, body, soul, spirit, consciousness, purifying us, renewing our spirit, uplifting us, consecrating us in the spirit waters, cleansed and baptized in your name. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, amen. So it is, and so it is, and so it's done. Mangarashika mwana karashita patereta. Nimburu daniri kingarashatena. Mandiri kingarashata. Nimbwana karashinara. And now sit within the stillness. Your restoration is here. The energy is here. And just sit within the breath. Oftentimes we leave after the prayer when the healing is just starting. Mingara shingara mundara kambuana. Yandia hingara mimbuana kara. Ingara shumbun urutungara nimbuana kara. Ambuana kara nikambera nireta. Hishumburu tungara. Andire singara mundara inguru nukara. Ishumbu nukana nambea ni imbuan shita. Mambea hane ambane kana mandire shata. You murutungere shindra hambuana. Mingara shimburu tungara ukarandire tandiri. Amburuna. Amburosata. Amburosunduru shandi. Ambarasandire kingara shindire bandire tambu. Mandire sinda. Mamburuhukra shambure atandiri tingara shingara ambona. Amona kara shingara. Now I'm just allowing the energy to flow. This is what Source always does at the end of a session and just guides my hands to where they need to be to move the energy where it needs to go. Their whole timeline shifting right now. Because of you and the codes that you possess. You're important, each and every one of us. Thank you. Thank you, Source. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here this evening. I hope you enjoyed that. Well, it's time to call it evening. It's been a few hours. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. I love you, I love you, I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys.